I did a newscast back in high school and I got really into the production stuff, camera work, editing. I really enjoyed it, but I never look into the aspect of journalism until I got here. I messaged Jennifer Austin, last year's news director, and I said, hey, what do you think if we make a Spanish newscast? And she replied back, LOL. And I'm like, well, maybe you think that's funny, but I'm being serious. But eventually, no, she loved the idea. She said that would be really cool, actually. So about, I don't know, 3 months later, I put everything on paper, pitched the idea to the executive board, and they were all very excited. I mean, yeah. Spanish newscasts in the state of Minnesota, we are the only one. There's nobody out there that does, well, first of all, there's nobody out there that does as many newscasts as UTVS News already does. And plus, adding one in Spanish, that gives a lot to say about UTVS itself. Spanish newscasts around the country, I just found out 2 weeks ago that there's one in the University of Texas in Austin. They just started it 4 months before ours, so I thought that was pretty unique. I keep saying that, but it is unique because we're all thinking alike, we mind things alike, and I mean, they have the advantage in Texas that a lot of people speak Spanish and the entire crew speaks Spanish, and here I'm the only one who can really write and speak Spanish fluently, and it can be tough sometimes because of course the crew doesn't understand what they're doing, but like today we had our first show and it went great. They're doing an awesome job.
I really focus more in the area of public relations, so I'm on the Facebook a lot. I'm trying to get people interested. I'm trying to expand, and I kind of do a lot of like organization. I email all the cast. I help with the packages. Just kind of everything I can do. I step in where I can.
I pretty much write the stories, local and state, and then Emilio will turn that and translate it into Spanish. I just make sure everyone's in their place, everyone shows up on time. I help Emilio every now and then with doing packages, making sure that everything's going right, and editing with him, following, kind of shadowing him.
Producing the Spanish newscast, it's a little more difficult than the one in English, since the crew doesn't understand Spanish, so everything has to be perfect, almost perfect or perfect if we can. All the cues have to be accurate so that the director knows exactly what's going on. If we're doing it in English, the crew is going to be able to respond and solve the problem and go with it. But since I have no idea what's going on, what I'm reading, what's on the prompter, everything has to be almost perfect. All the cues, if possible, so that everything flows smoothly.
I can understand Spanish a little bit. I can understand what they're talking about, pick up on certain words, so I have a general idea of what they're talking about, but I don't speak it fluently.
I have no prior experience with Spanish. Since being here, I've started to pick up on more just because Emilio will sometimes forget that I don't speak Spanish and try and speak to me in Spanish. That's always fun. But no, I don't speak Spanish, and it's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
I guess unlike UTVS News, we have the advantage to meet people, to create an audience outside of not just Minnesota or St. Cloud, but overseas, such as Puerto Rico, my home country, or Mexico, Rogelio's home country, or Venezuela, Jessica's home country. So, we have the advantage that we can create that audience and they're able to watch on live stream, utvsnewsnow.com.
I mean, I've never done anything this diverse before. It's really interesting to reach out and meet new people whose backgrounds aren't your own, and you just hear new stories, and it's just an amazing experience that I never thought that I would have been able to do.